Now, as you know, in drawings, we annotate our profiles. So you have the sections or part position numbers or assembly numbers, whatever, annotated on the drawings. But it's also useful sometimes to have some annotations in while you're modeling, so that you can quickly see what a particular part actually is. And for that, we have a feature in COMOSYS. If you come under the edit menu on the right hand side, right next to the materials, it's called profile annotation. And this is quite useful. Now, the way to use it is you just click on this first to first create an annotation. And then we will assign it to objects later on. So the first thing you do is you create a new annotation. You come over here and you click on this new button, and you can give it a name. So let's call it section name, for example. So this section, an annotation called section name is created. Now you decide what you want to put inside it. And you have these options at the top. These are like profile name, the name, the material, some force related values maybe you want to see, the part mark, assembly mark, some user defined fields, etc. It's a limited set over here, but these are the ones which are most commonly used. So I'm going to just use the profile name and I'm going to put it over here. So this is your section. It's got 9 areas, like left top, middle top, right top, then the left, middle, right, and then the bottom 9. You can place this basically anywhere you want. And then you give a font size. Let's give it a font size of 5. You can give it a color as well. Let's just say apply for the moment. So I've created a new annotation called section name. It basically will show the profile name of the section of the beam or the frame, and I've given it a font size, etc. And I can give it some offsets as well. So let's just say okay. Now this is created, but it's not assigned to any object yet. So what I can do is now I can select my model like that. Let's say I only want to annotate the beams on this in this particular view. Just press enter, and I go to my profiles and group according to the beam group. And I say I only want to select the beams. There are 142 beams in this view, and I just select them. And now I open the dialog box by pressing enter. And if I come to the general definitions tab, you will see that there's an annotation option over here. And if I open it, I will see this annotation which I just created called section name. And by selecting it, I can now assign this annotation to all the frame objects which I have selected in the back. Now that we have assigned this annotation to these beams, we can just press OK. It says changes will be applied to multiple objects. And you see immediately that now if we zoom in, you can see the section name over there. So if you're working on this model, let's say you're making connections, etc., and you want to, without every time double clicking and seeing what the profile was, you just want to see it on the screen directly. So this, or you're doing some checking work and maybe you've imported a DXF as an underlay and you want to just check whether you've entered the right profiles. So you can just put the underlay over here and annotate what you've done so that you can see side by side that the design drawing said IPE 300 and I've also inputted an IPE 300, etc. So a very quick and easy way to annotate your frames on the screen. And like I said, you can put other things in there as well. For instance, one thing I can do is I can go back into the annotation and put my material in there as well, and then say OK. And now you will see that you're getting the profile name as well as the material annotated next to it. So it's also a quick way of seeing what you've done. You could put your assembly numbers, your part numbers, etc. as well. So very convenient way when you're doing modeling. And if you want to remove this annotation, you can either remove it from the visibility. I think there's a separate option over here. Yeah, here it is. So if you don't want to see the annotations, you can just turn them off while they'll still be assigned, and you can always bring them back on like that. Or you could just select the beams again, and let's go select according to the beam group, the 142 beams we selected, press enter and go to the general definitions and say, okay, I don't want the annotation anymore, and it'll be gone. So a very convenient way of using annotations on the modeling side.